PPH is a nightmare for all the obstetricians. Nobody else can know it better than us, as we all are obstetricians. PPH is the most common cause of maternal mortality, especially in India. There are so many causes of PPH, but the most common is atonic uterus. And there are many drugs for this atonic uterus, like we are giving uterotonic like oxytocin, methergine, methylergometrin, and there are prostaglandins. But among these, uterotonics are the first line drugs. And we are giving oxytocin for so many years. But its half-life is very short and duration of action is very short. Therefore, we need uterotonic that is of long duration. Now our wait is over. There is a molecule known as carbitocin with the brand name of Carvicin. This is available. Its half-life is very long, and it only single injection is given for this. Before starting our academic session, I would like to hand over to Dr. Preeti Vaish to welcome the delegates. Dr. Preeti.
Everyone, it's my pleasure to welcome everyone in this webinar. This is our box first webinar. पहले कंडोलेंस कर लेना.
Yes, पहले कंडोलेंस कर.
हाँ, मैं आप सबसे कुछ कहना चाहती हूँ. बात बहुत कड़वी है मगर सच है कि डॉक्टर विकास बैजल और डॉक्टर संजय अग्रवाल के अकाल निधन से हम सबको बहुत सदमा पहुंचा है. भगवान अच्छे लोगों को सबसे पहले बुला लेता है. हम कभी कल्पना भी नहीं कर सके कि हमारे दोस्त हमें इस तरह से अचानक छोड़ के चले जाएंगे. उनकी अचानक विदाई से उनके परिवार को ही नहीं, हम सबको भी बहुत सदमा पहुंचा है. मैं भगवान से प्रार्थना करती हूँ कि उनकी दिव्य आत्मा को अपने चरणों में जगह दे और डॉक्टर सोनिका एंड डॉक्टर अर्चना को इस दुख को सहन करने की शक्ति और हिम्मत दे. डॉक्टर सोनिका एंड डॉक्टर अर्चना, हम सब आपके साथ हैं. हम कभी भी उनको नहीं भूल पाएंगे. और अब हमें 2 मिनट का शो करना होगा, है ना?
हाँ जी, साइलेंस रख लेते हैं. आत्मा को शांति मिले और इनके परिवार वालों को सहन करने की शक्ति दे भगवान. Now we should start our academic session, and Dr. Vinita Awasthi from Kanpur, she is the chairperson. She will chair the session. First, I will introduce her. Awasthi is MBBS, MS, FICOG, and CIMP. Dr. Vinita, please, what is the CIMP? Dr. Vinita.
क्रेडेंशियल ऑफ इंडियन मेनोपॉज सोसाइटी प्रैक्टिशनर. वो एक एग्जाम लेते हैं इंडियन मेनोपॉज सोसाइटी एवरी ईयर. तो उसमें वो जो एग्जाम क्रॉस करते हैं उनको वो अपने क्रेडेंशियल पॉइंट्स देते हैं. मतलब वो एक तरह से सर्टिफाइड करते हैं कि दे आर द सर्टिफाइड मेनोपॉज प्रैक्टिशनर. सो दिस इज नोन एज CIMP.
She is consultant at Manas Medical Center, Kanpur, Joint Organizing Secretary, AICOG 2020, Lucknow, Joint Organizing Secretary, WWW-CON 2018, Kanpur, Joint Secretary, Kanpur Obs-Gynae Society, 2018-20, Cultural Secretary, Kanpur Obs-Gynae Society, 2021, Secretary of WWO, Women Welfare Organization, NCR, Co-Editor of Center of National Conference 2015, invited as faculty in various national and zonal conferences. Field of interest is high-risk pregnancy and infertility. Now, Dr. Vinita, this platform is for you.
First of all, my namaskar to all the seniors, especially Dr. Bharati sir, ma'am, Dr. Neera Agrawal, madam, and thank you to Dr. Pragati Agrawal, my friend who has invited me and introduced myself in Bareilly Obs-Gynae Society. And ये सबसे आपको वर्चुअली सबको मिलके मुझे बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है. लास्ट ईयर जब बरेली ने एक कॉन्फ्रेंस ऑर्गेनाइज कराई थी, दैट वाज UPCOG. I was very much keen to come to Bareilly, but somehow I was not able to come there. डॉक्टर मृदुला मैडम है, उनको मैं जानती हूँ, तो मेरा बहुत मन था बरेली आने का, लेकिन ऐसे ना सही, ऐसे ही सही, और वो इस बार मुझे डॉक्टर प्रगति अग्रवाल ने इनवाइट किया है. So as you know very well, as Dr. Pragati said, the PPH is the most dangerous cause of maternal mortality, not in the India, but all over the world, especially the atonic PPH. Once in our life, we all have faced it, and the only savior was the syntocinon, either the DREP or an IM. But the problem with the oxytocin was the temperature maintenance and the short half-life. So we have to give in the form of continuous infusion to keep the uterus contracted. But this newer medicine, which will be introduced by Dr. Neera Agrawal ma'am, has a few advantage. So I will invite Dr. Neera Agrawal ma'am as a speaker. She's a graduate and postgraduate from prestigious KGMC, Lucknow. She started practice in 1991.
CV.
Please display the CV of Dr. Neera Agrawal, madam. Madam has a special interest in infertility in high-risk pregnancy. She started IVF Center in 2003. She has been as a twice organizing secretary of UP chapter of Bareilly, executive member of UP ISAR and UP IFS. She is a North Zone coordinator of Safe Motherhood Committee, organized various CME workshops on ultrasound, colposcopy, and infertility. She is a past president of Bareilly Obs and Gynae Society. And ma'am, Dr. Neera Agrawal, ma'am, is a very known figure in the UP as a eminent gynecologist. So, ma'am, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Vinita, for such a nice introduction. Today we are just going to discuss how to prevent PPH, basically, because as we know, PPH still, as Pragati said, it's a nightmare for all obstetricians. We should be very happy that the most awaited efficient uterotonic carbicin is now available. As we know that PPH in India is the leading cause of maternal deaths in India. Not in India, everywhere, all over world, it's a very important cause of maternal deaths. Its prevalence in India, it's about 38%. PPH that accounts for up to 56% of maternal deaths in India. Its incidence is very high. Postpartum hemorrhage or PPH is defined as a cumulative blood loss more than 500 ml following vaginal delivery or more than 1000 following cesarean delivery, or any amount of blood loss within 24 hours after birth, evidenced by a rise in pulse rate and falling blood pressure. New American obstetrics guidelines, they say it's not necessary that immediate after delivery, if the blood loss is more than 500 or after seizure it's more than 1000, we should not label it as a PPH immediately, but it accounts PPH. But within 24 hours, that is a cumulative blood loss. If it is more than 500, for example, if patient delivers normally, hardly there is any blood loss, even after seizure, there is not much blood loss. But within 24 hours, if the cumulative blood loss is more than 500 following vaginal delivery or more than 1000 following cesarean delivery, we should label it as a postpartum hemorrhage. Primary PPH that accounts within first 24 hours of delivery, and secondary PPH 24 hours to 12 weeks after delivery. What are the causes of PPH? We should remember 4 T's for the PPH, causes of PPH. First, most important is tone. Tone, trauma, tissue, and thrombin. Tone is one of the important causes, atonic uterus, that accounts about 70% of cases. Trauma, that accounts laceration, hematomas, inversion, rupture, only 20%. Sometimes there are retained tissues, invasive placenta, that accounts 10%, and coagulopathy is only 1%. So because once we do seizure, we visualize in this type of problems like trauma, inversion, and rupture uterus. But atonicity of the uterus is one of the important cause of PPH. The most common cause, uterine atony, which results in the poor contraction of the uterus after childbirth. What are the causes of PPH? Prolonged labor, grand multipara, augmented or precipitate labor, history of previous PPH, over-distended uterus like macrosomia, twins, polyhydramnios, and in cases of operative delivery like previous cesarean, chorioamnionitis. If all these factors are there, ideally being an obstetrician, we are seeing patient in our antenatal clinic, we should highlight, by highlighter, we should highlight that these things, because once the patient comes in night, at least staff should know that she is a case of any risk factor in the in this patient. So once we see such patients, we have to counsel the patient and we should take the history in details. What is the time duration was during first labor, first delivery, and was there any history of PPH in the first pregnancy? On all these should be highlighted in the present pregnancy. WHO recommends active management of third stage of labor for prevention of PPH. What it includes? It includes bimanual uterine massage, simultaneously uterotonic agent administration. This is the active management of third stage of labor. Prophylactic administration of uterotonic agent is identified as the most important component of active management of third stage of labor. That reduces the incidence of PPH by 50%. PPH after cesarean deliveries. Cesarean deliveries, they have become an epidemic in India. Record is 300% jump in last decade. The incidence of PPH, they are high in cesarean deliveries than in vaginal deliveries. As you must have, I think, learned the last week only, a week or 10 days back, even there was a lecture by Dr. Jaideep Mehrotra on this increased incidence of cesarean section. I think so many of us, they must have joined that seminar, webinar, and she only mentioned why incidence of cesarean births has increased in India. Because there is a poor compliance of patient. They are not willing for the normal deliveries. And even because in small nursing homes where doctors, they are not available all the time, 24 hours to watch the patient, because as we know, we have to watch normal labor for long. So patient, even doctors, they don't want to take risk, because nowadays litigation problem is so much. So incidence of cesarean has jumped like anything. So because incidence of cesarean is increased, simultaneously incidence of PPH is increased. PPH after cesarean deliveries is more likely to happen after cesarean as compared to vaginal deliveries. Approximately 36% of cesarean deliveries are complicated by PPH. And therefore, it is common practice to give a uterotonic drug following delivery of the neonate during cesarean sections. In international consensus statement on the use of uterotonic agents during cesarean, in 2019, uterotonic agents like oxytocin, carbetocin, they are recommended for routine administration immediately after delivery of the fetus during seizure or to prevent PPH. Administration of uterotonic drugs, agents, they are very essential during cesarean as well as in third stage of delivery to diminish the risk of PPH and improve maternal safety. What are the uterotonic drugs? As we know, posterior pituitary hormones and analogs, ergot alkaloids, and prostaglandins and its analogs. Posterior pituitary hormones, we are very much aware of that, oxytocin, and the newer drug is carbetocin. Ergots, ergometrin, methyl ergometrin, and prostaglandins, we all know PGE2, mesoprost, carboprost. But this is most important, we are using posterior pituitary hormone oxytocin. That is the first line treatment. Second line treatment is ergot only and prostaglandins. Why? Oxytocin considered as a gold standard treatment for the prevention of pre-PH because of its safety. But it's short acting. Half-life is only 4 to 10 minutes. Duration of action 15 to 20 minutes. It must be administered as a continuous intravenous infusion to attain sustained uterotonic activity throughout the surgical procedure and immediately postpartum period. But what happens? Oxytocin is used for inducing labor also. That causes receptor desensitization. Oxytocin is used for inducing or augmenting labor. So that causes desensitization of the oxytocin receptors. So thereby impairing oxytocin's post-delivery effect on uterine contractility. Already patient is in prolonged labor and we have induced her by oxytocin and or augmented by this oxytocin. So what happened? There it's sensitization because of the desensitization of the oxytocin receptor. The effect of the drug is little bit lowered. WHO recommendation uterotonics for the prevention of PPH is first line of treatment is oxytocin and carbetocin. Variation in doses, because various international bodies and trials they have used and recommended different doses of oxytocin. Thus, there is no consistency in doses regime, which results into errors in its administration. Oxytocin is a high alert medication. The Institute for Safe Medical Practice added IV oxytocin to their list of high alert medications, meaning minor errors can cause significant harm to patients. Earlier, I remember when we started practice in 30 years back, prostaglandins were not available that much. We used to induce second trimester abortion also by oxytocin. At that time, we had to give 20 unit, 40 unit oxytocin in IV drip, and sometimes that dose was too much, so patient might have developed complications because of the oxytocin itself. But because of the prostaglandins, now we are using it for the second trimester abortion, so that problem is now over. But earlier we have seen the patient with oxytocin going to anuria or oliguria. Anuria was a severe complication. I have seen 1 or 2 patients when I induced by this oxytocin in high doses. Now, need for an hour, the drug which we want. There's a longer acting drug, single dose of administration, no variation in doses regimes, devoid of repeated administration, ease of one-time administration, superior efficacy or similar efficacy as that of oxytocin, devoid of receptor desensitization, superior side effect profile over oxytocin. As everybody knows, and even we also know that the oxytocin was also recommended by FOXI, because just to prevent the PPH, I think 2-3 years back, it was a FOXI guidelines ki immediately as soon as baby is delivered, just to prevent PPH, one should advise 10 unit intramuscular oxytocin immediately as soon as baby is delivered. 10 unit intramuscular, even add 10 unit in the drip, so you can prevent the blood loss. Same is here. If we want just to, because oxytocin we know it's a longer acting drug is required, so we can switch on to the other drug. Carbetocin is a synthetic analog of human oxytocin with some structural modification as shown in this chart. These structural modification increases half-life of carbetocin, thereby prolonging its pharmacological effects. It has been added to the WHO essential medicines list of uterotonics for the prevention of excessive bleeding after childbirth. Safest and most effective medicines needed in the health system. WHO recommends the use of an effective uterotonic for the prevention of PPH during the third stage of labor is recommended to all patients. To effectively prevent PPH, only one of the following uterotonics should be used. Either oxytocin, carbetocin, mesoprost, ergots, oxytocin and ergots. But once we see that oxytocin and carbetocin is the first line of drug for this prevention of PPH. The use of oxytocin 10 unit, I told you, is recommended for the prevention of PPH in all births. The use of carbetocin, we have to use 100 microgram IV is recommended for the prevention of PPH for all births in context where the cost is comparable to other effective uterotonics. Yeah, use of mesoprost, as we know, 400 to 600 micro is recommended as a rectal use even after the birth of the baby. The use of ergots, we know that injection it's very common. We are using since our residency for the prevention of PPH in context where hypertensive disorders can be safely excluded. The use of a fixed dose combination oxytocin and ergometrin. Injectable prostaglandins, they are not recommended for the prevention of PPH. Carbetocin is recommended by a WHO as an effective uterotonic in its 2018 guidelines. Carboprost is not recommended by WHO. Half-life for carbetocin is 10-fold higher than oxytocin, where it's 4 minutes, and half-life of carbetocin is 40 minutes. Duration of action is longer than IV and IM oxytocin. It was found that a single IV bolus injection of carbetocin was at least as effective as 16 hours of continuous oxytocin infusion. Carbetocin need no repeat administration, no dose variation. Single dose of carbetocin is found to be effective in controlling PPH, unlike oxytocin. As we know, once we induce labor or we augment labor, and patient delivers also, we have to give oxytocin. And if there are certain high risk factor, we advise our all staff that oxytocin drip will continue. For example, elective cesarean, previous cesarean, twin delivery, where we are suspecting PPH, we ask the patient to continue oxytocin in the drip. So, but if we are using carbetocin, that continuous oxytocin drip is not required. Carbetocin is superior over oxytocin with respect to its pharmacokinetic parameters and single dose administration. How carbetocin works? Most important is this.
A postpartum hemorrhage, or PPH, is an obstetrical emergency affecting an estimated 10% of all live births. It is the most preventable cause of maternal death. The uterine arteries pump 500 to 700 milliliters per minute into the site at which the placenta is attached to the uterus. After birth, this blood could potentially flow into the uterine cavity and be lost from circulation. In most cases of vaginal delivery, however, the myometrium contracts firmly, compressing the blood vessels and thereby reducing blood flow. A cesarean delivery can increase the risk of a PPH developing due to the insufficient contraction of the uterine musculature. Carbetocin specifically targets uterine atony. Carbetocin is administered as a single intravenous injection. After injection, carbetocin is carried rapidly to its site of action, the smooth muscle cells in the uterus. Here it binds to oxytocin receptors. In this way, a signaling cascade is started. As a result, the smooth muscle cells of the myometrium start contracting regularly. This causes the leaking blood vessels in the uterus to be compressed and to constrict. The overall effect? The bleeding stops and uterine involution is furthered.
Management of third stage of labor during vaginal delivery and prevention of PPH following cesarean delivery. Management of third stage of labor during vaginal delivery, IV carbetocin versus IV oxytocin for preventing atonic postpartum hemorrhage after normal vaginal delivery in high-risk singleton pregnancy, a triple-blind randomized control trial was done. And they just did this trial and found that 100 microgram via slow IV infusion for 1 minute period. Outcome measures incidence of atonic PPH, postpartum blood loss, additional uterotonic drugs, incidence of postpartum anemia, and adverse effects. In such cases, they saw that the incidence of atonic PPH with carbetocin was only 0%. That means it's a good drug that prevents this PPH, but it was 6.3% with oxytocin. And another study, again, this slide is showing this, that the blood loss was less with the carbetocin. Need of additional uterotonic drug was not required with carbetocin. Postpartum hemorrhage in anemia was less with the carbetocin. It was more with the oxytocin. IV carbetocin is more effective than intravenous oxytocin for the prevention of atonic PPH among singleton pregnancies with at least one risk factor for PPH. So in management of third stage of labor, again, there was a trial with the carbetocin versus oxytocin. Efficacy and safety of carbetocin in comparison to oxytocin in the active management of labor, third stage of labor, an open randomized control trial was done. Again, they did on 110 women with a single pregnancy. Then outcome measures, amount of blood loss was less, primary PPH was less, massive blood loss was less, need for additional uterotonic drug was not required. Average amount of blood loss was 325 ml in cases of carbetocin, though it was more with the oxytocin group. Carbetocin appears to be an effective new drug in the active management of third stage of liver in vaginal delivery. Carbetocin can be considered as a good alternative to oxytocin in the active management of third stage of liver in vaginal delivery. Prevention of PPH following cesarean delivery. As we know that the more incidence of cesarean has increased, and every other day we are doing cesarean, even previous two cesarean. In all such cases, we can opt for carbetocin, the single shot that may prevent PPH. So prevention of PPH following delivery, again, there was a randomized control trial comparing carbetocin, misoprostol, oxytocin for the prevention of PPH following an elective cesarean delivery. Again, they observed the 263 patient with a single pregnancy scheduled for an elective cesarean, where in few, then carbetocin group, there was a less blood loss. It was more with oxytocin, and in few, further uterotonic drug was given. Occurrence of uterine atony necessitating additional uterotonic drugs. So for the prevention of PPH, once we are doing Caesar, single carbetocin is enough. We don't require further uterotonic or ergots alkaloids along with this. Additional uterotonic, as this chart shows, it was only required in 6%. Blood loss was also less, and blood transfusion was not required in any of the patients. No significant difference regarding side effects. Additional uterotonics were needed in less frequently by patients treated with carbetocin. Again, this clinical study versus carbetocin versus oxytocin. There are so many studies they have conducted in Australia, Egypt, America, and UK. Everywhere it was done, and they showed comparative study between effect of carbetocin in oxytocin and isoflurane-induced uterine hypotonia in twin pregnancy patient. Once we know patient is on uterine relaxant, already is a twin gestation pregnancy, already she is on some uterine relaxant drugs. In such cases, if we advise carbetocin, if we use carbetocin where we are suspecting PPH, it's I think it's a drug of choice in such case to prevent the PPH. Again, this clinical trial was done in the twin pregnancy undergoing elective cesarean section, where carbetocin was used. There was a less blood loss and need for additional uterotonic drug was not required, and blood transfusion was not required. Again, this chart is showing the same thing. Single dose of carbetocin appears to be more effective than oxytocin for several hours on uterine contraction, and though preventing PPH in multiple pregnancy patients undergoing elective cesarean section. Carbetocin versus sublingual mesoprost plus oxytocin infusion for prevention of PPH at cesarean section in patient risk factors. Again, a randomized control trial was done. They again labeled it as that need for additional uterotonic drug was not required in carbetocin group, but it was required in oxytocin group. Decrease in hemoglobin, estimated blood loss, incidence of blood transfusion, and adverse effects. So the result was this: only in one patient blood transfusion was required, but in oxytocin or mesoprost group, in 4 patients, blood transfusion was required. So we can label it as that carbetocin is superior over combination of oxytocin plus mesoprost drugs. Again, there was a study with the carbetocin and oxytocin plus ergometrin group. The outcome was uterine, they measure by uterine tonicity, need of additional oxytocin, and in this group also, they needed less uterotonics with carbetocin group. So carbetocin is more potent, long-acting oxytocin with less need for other additional uterotonic drugs and less occurrence of uterine atonicity. Again, this was a trial going on. It was done in the singleton pregnancy. The outcome only they measured by PPH, blood loss, duration of 3rd stage of labor, and side effects. This slide is also showing the same thing: is a preferable drug in the reduction of PPH and more safely in side effects of drugs than methyl ergometrin. The Cochrane collaboration, what they say that for women who undergo cesarean section, carbetocin resulted in a statistically significant reduction in the need for therapeutic uterotonic compared to oxytocin. Carbetocin is associated with less blood loss in the prevention of PPH for women who have vaginal deliveries and is associated with significantly fewer adverse effects. Carbetocin is similar efficacy but reduced pain perception in women with high risk of PPH. Again, they said post-operative pain in the delay of surgery in carbetocin group was significantly lower than in oxytocin group and remained significant till the 3rd day after cesarean section. In the day of surgery and the 1st day after surgery, women of carbetocin group who needed analgesic drug was significantly lower than women of oxytocin group. As we know, if we do cesarean section, elective cesarean section, in like previous 2 Caesar, or some for other causes of pregnancy, we advise this syntocinon or oxytocin drip at least for 6 to 8 to 12 hours, just for that, just to prevent uterine atonicity. Once the oxytocin is continuously given in the drip, what happens? There is a uterine contraction. Because tonicity is maintained. So constant patient complains of lower abdominal pain, because as oxytocin causes it increases the tonicity, it causes the uterine tonicity, so that leads to more pain. So in carbetocin group, patient's perception of pain is less. A single carbetocin injection is efficacious and safe on the maintenance of uterine tone and on the limitation of blood losses in peri and in post-operative period. In addition, carbetocin was able to reduce pain perception during post-operative days, improving quality life of women. Utilization of carbetocin for prevention of postpartum hemorrhage after cesarean section. Again, there was a randomized control trial. 104 patients with at least one risk factor for PPH undergoing cesarean section. Carbetocin was given single dose, oxytocin for infusion for 2 hours. Comparison of result between two studies, they said that in carbetocin, there was a less blood loss, and carbetocin is superior alternative over oxytocin, thanks to its long half-life on an unique injection, whereas oxytocin requires repeated injections or a perfusion of several hours with a variability of administered doses. Carbetocin versus oxytocin for prevention of PPH in patient with severe preeclampsia, a double-blind randomized controlled trial. Because as we know, in cases of severe preeclampsia where already kidney function is compromised, so in such cases, we have to be very cautious in giving oxytocin for long duration. Because what happens, they also did one trial that 60 women with severe preeclampsia, carbetocin was given in Ringer's lactate, 10 ml injection directly into the vein over 2 minutes. Where in oxytocin, as we know, 20 unit in 1 liter of Ringer's administered intravenously at a rate of 125 ml per hour. The primary outcome measures was PPH. Requiring additional utrotonics, secondary outcome measures were the difference in hemoglobin levels between two groups, the development of oliguria, and hemodynamic status after administration of this drug. Because we have to be more careful in cases of severe PET. Already patient is compromised, and that drug, if we give oxytocin continuously, or we have to be more careful for this, because it causes oliguria. So in giving oxytocin, we have to be more cautious. So what happened in cases of such with severe preeclampsia, need for additional utrotonic drugs with carbetocin was none, need of blood transfusion was none, post hemoglobin level was up to the mark, and hemoglobin difference was almost nil. Oliguria was, there was no oliguria in carbetocin group, in in few patients only. But in oxytocin, need for additional utrotonic drug was required, blood transfusion was required, and there oliguria was also noted in so many patients. Carbetocin is an appropriate alternative to oxytocin for the prevention of PPH in women with severe preeclampsia, considering that it appears not to have a major hemodynamic effects in women with severe PET, and that it causes a lower volume per dose than oxytocin. It should be considered a valid option in the management of third stage of liver in women with hypertensive disorders of pregnancy. Because as we know, in cases of anemia, in cases of severe PET, ergots not to be given straightway. So we depend on only oxytocin group. So whether we go for the oxytocin, even we have to be very cautious about that, because if we give for the long duration, it may cause oliguria later on. Every patient is different. For example, severe PET patient comes, but her kidney function is not compromised, so we can continue. But where in cases of severe preeclampsia, already kidney function is compromised, it's a better drug is carbetocin. We can choose because we can choose that because it's a single dose drug, and we can avoid oxytocin in that group. So in all patients, first we have to see the patient, we have to see the hemodynamic status of the patient, we have to see the kidney function, liver function. All tests should be in our I mean, it should be in our knowledge, then only we should advise the treatment. So carboprost, carbetocin group, because second line of management, in because here in India we are using carboprost as a first line of drug. Sometimes after giving oxytocin, the patient is having PPH, we switch on to the prostaglandin groups. But in abroad, in American groups and even in UK, it's a second line agent in PPH by the WHO. It's not recommended by WHO in management of PPH. It's associated with severe vomiting and diarrhea incidents, and moreover, it's also contraindicated in the asthma. So carbetocin is the first line agent in PPH. It's recommended by WHO in management of PPH. No such severe incidences with carbetocin like diarrhea and vomiting. It should be used though in asthma patient. It's contraindicated in asthma carboprost, but we have to use even carbetocin with caution in cases of asthma. So management of third stage of labor during vaginal delivery in patient with singleton pregnancy, in patient with high risk pregnancy, prevention of PPH following cesarean delivery, carbetocin is proved to be superior over oxytocin and other eutotonics with respect to prevention of PPH, estimated blood loss after delivery, need of additional eutotonic agents were not required, decrease in hemoglobin levels, need of blood. These are all patients where we can opt for the carbetocin, and perception of pain was less and side effect profile. So carbetocin in Indian scenario, heat stable carbetocin versus oxytocin to prevent hemorrhage after vaginal birth. Because here we know this is a trial carried out by WHO for carbetocin versus oxytocin across the 23 centers in 10 countries, including India. They say centers in India, this is these all are centers. Among UP, it was done in Institute of Medical Science, Banaras, and other centers also, they say. But it's a drug of choice in prevention of PPH. Carbetocin proved to be non-inferior to oxytocin with ease of single dose administration. Superiority of carbetocin over oxytocin was discussed in the 2019 in the ICOG. This was also presentation by Dr. Uma Pandey, carbetocin in atonic PPH. So how we give carbetocin? That product available nowadays by the name of Carbicin. Okay, Carbicin solution for. I have used this Carbicin in my few patients where I was suspecting. Yesterday also I did Caesar for the twin gestation, and with the polyhydramnios, only I gave Carbicin injection, and after vaginal delivery I have also used in 2-3 patients. It is indicated for the prevention of uterine atony and excessive bleeding following delivery of PPH by cesarean delivery or by vaginal delivery. It must be administered after delivery of the infant, and dose and its administration, only single dose 100 microgram 1 ml should be administered. Usually what I did, I diluted in 5 ml distilled water, 5 ml or 10 ml you can use, and just give slow in 1 minute as a bolus in 1 minute after delivery of the baby. A single dose should be administered after delivery, because if we only load 1 ml, 1 ml is little, it's very small. Sometimes it's not sufficient to give. It says it's थोड़ी सी dose है, मतलब staff कहेगा कि अरे इतना कैसे जाएगा. So it's better to dilute it with 5 ml or 10 ml in saline, and we can use it as a bolus injection slowly in 1 minute immediately after the delivery of baby. So carbetocin is superior over oxytocin with respect to prevention of PPH, blood loss after delivery, need of additional eutotonic agents not required, usually hemoglobin level is not disturbed, need of blood transfusion is not there, perception of pain is less, side effect profile. Carbetocin is superior over ergot with respect to prevention of PPH, blood loss after delivery, need of additional eutotonic agents, and need of blood transfusion, and better side effect profile. So carbetocin is superior over prostaglandins, prevention of PPH, blood loss, no need of additional uterotonic agent. Though prostaglandins is usually second line agent, it's not recommended by WHO and it's need multiple doses associated with significant vomiting and diarrhea. Most efficient and uterotonic and was most awaited uterotonic, and it has arrived now in India. So we can start using this. Its cost is 350 rupees in our market, and though one injection is only required, because as we know, in after delivery or cesarean, sometimes we ask the patient to have 4 to 6 ampoules of oxytocin, 2 ampoules of methergine, and sometimes 1 or 2 ampoules of carbopros. So cumulative price is the same. So if we write only carbetocin injection, that costs only 350 rupees. I think it's a very good drug, and I have used in few patients. It's really good. Thank you for patient listening. Carbetocin.
Thanks, Dr. Neeraj ma'am.
Bolo.
Question I want to ask.
Bolo.
If what to do if there is still PPH after injection carbetocin?
No, we have to rule out other causes. For example, it is only for the tonicity of the uterus. If uterus is properly contracted, still patient is bleeding, that means we have to rule out other causes. But even after carbacin, if uterus is atonic, we have to give oxytocin drip. No, nothing else.
Yes, Dr. Pragati, 4T are very important in case of PPH.
Yes.
Tone, trauma,
we have to rule out other causes.
Yes.
No, that's okay. We all are qualified. Other causes are already excluded. It is only.
But the most important thing in case of PPH, any amount of bleeding that will disarrange the vitals of the patient. Our level of suspicion should be high. And just to prevent the PPH or better management of a PPH, we should arrange a mock drill for PPH management time to time in the hospital. So we must maintain a PPH kit where all the things should be there. And we also educate our paramedics to diagnose for the PPH, because they are the one who inform us whether bleeding is normal, or sometimes they thought this bleeding is normal. But if we trained them, this bleeding is not normal, any amount of bleeding that will disarrange the vitals of the patient is PPH. So high level of because
usually first thing is this, Pragati. Once we sometimes what happens immediately after delivery, patient is okay. Patient is not blood loss is.
Yes.
I want to ask if after 3-4 hours, even after 3-4 hours of injection carbetocin,
you have to go for the bundle approach for PPH management. Then you have to go for the balloon tamponade. If she is not responding to the medical management, yes, you have to do the other inventions.
If there are non-surgical methods, balloon tamponade, and
yes,
there is everything.
Yes,
but we still continue try to.
If you have given the drug for prevention of PPH, still she had PPH, then you have to manage the PPH. Now that you have to use that drug, that is for the management of PPH.
Used after oxytocin. PPH is not being controlled with oxytocin. Can we give carbacin?
Yes, we can give.
Yes.
After 1 hour, मतलब wait करके या after 10-15 मिनट से असर आ जाता है, अगर 10-15 मिनट से असर नहीं आया
तो नहीं मैंने जितनों में भी यूज किया है 10 मिनट्स में, बिकॉज अभी तो हमने प्रोफाइलेक्टिकली ही दिया है, इनफैक्ट बिकॉज हमने वो तो नहीं ना, प्रोफाइलेक्टिक ही दिया है, तो उसमें किसी में कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं आई. ठीक है, तो
कोई क्यूमुलेटिव इफेक्ट तो नहीं होता ऑक्सीटोसिन एंड कार्बेसिन का एक साथ?
नहीं, वी कैन गिव.
जैसे रिबाउंड हाइपर
can carbacin use for induction of labor like oxytocin?
Oxytocin is not for induction. only just to prevent PPH, not for induction. Even only oxytocin is for induction of labor, or nowadays we are giving prostaglandins. But even in oxytocin, one has to be careful, because I have seen cases, intrauterine fetal death, even after with the low dose of the oxytocin for the inducing labor.
We should
Only induction by by oxytocin. Carbazine is never for induction.
So what are the adverse effects of carbitocin?
Adverse effect, to like it's a oxytocin drug. First thing is this: they say it should be in the room temperature, but I advise you not to be, because in India, in UP, we are seeing the 35-40 degree temperature. I'll advise you to keep it in the fridge, because as we are keeping oxytocin and ergots in the fridge at 2 to 8 degrees centigrade, because one should avoid that, because we cannot say, because it's a new drug, what is the efficacy even after that much of temperature. So already after so much of trial by so many persons, they said there's no side effects.
Neera ma'am, is there any need for second dose, repetition of the dose? Then
No. Only single dose. Only single dose is required, because it works for 10 to 12 hours. 10 to 12 hours.
Ma'am,
in secondary, this PPH due to subinvolution, then on
secondary PPH, no, because secondary PPH is usually because of the infection itself.
infection, yes.
Secondary PPH is because of sometimes are retained products. Retained products. So we have to rule out the cause of the secondary PPH and treat accordingly.
There is subinvolution due to poor nutrition or poor status of the patient. Then
Like anemia.
That, yes, of course, subinvolution is not because of that is not the cause of PPH, because we are only worried about the acute PPH. For example, immediate after delivery or immediate after cesarean section. Not that, because subinvolution only causes the anemia. Later on, it's a subinvoluted uterus, maybe because of some infection, or maybe because of some other underlying cause. So we have to rule out that only.
Carbitocin may be used for after MTP or abortion?
No, in trial was not done even for MTP, because usually in cases of early pregnancy, as we are doing first trimester abortion, it is not indicated. In
second trimester abortion?
Second trimester, even it is not, trial was not done under after second trimester also. Only
Maybe later on, there may be indication.
Maybe.
infusion can be given or not?
No.
Oh, no.
Only single bolus drug is given within 1 minute. Matlab duration is 1 minute. Usually we have to dilute, because it's a very little drug. 1 ml is hardly, or we can give slow, because 1 ml if we are giving in 1 minute, it's very difficult for us to give. It's better to dilute in 5 ml or 10 ml and then give within 1 minute. Only one it's mentioned.
Side effects, ma'am?
Side effects, तो देखो, it's a same group की drug है, oxytocin group की drug है. If we have all in, usually oxytocin is a gold standard drug we are using for since long. Once we were doing residency, and still, because nowadays, earlier we used to use ergots also, but nowadays we have reduced using ergots. We have switched on to only oxytocin, because it's a totally safe drug, and carbazine also is of the same group. So I don't think so it's going to give some harm to the patient. Only thing is this, in cases of severe PET, or in cases of previous history of asthma, if patient is so much history of asthma, we have to be more cautious in such patient.
But it is preferred.
Yeah.
But still, in PIT, in PIS patients, this is Butyrotronic, oxytocin or carbetocin?
We are giving already we are using uterotonic drugs, oxytocin group of drugs in cases of severe PET, but already where a kidney function is impaired, where it's compromised. So we have to be more cautious of using oxytocin. But carbicin we can use because it's a single dose drug. If we have to give oxytocin in cases of severe PET, usually we give oxytocin in infusion for 6 to 8 hours just to prevent the PPH. So I think it's of the same group. So whatever the side effects of oxytocin, iske bhi honge, lekin kam honge, but in cases of asthma, we has to be more careful.
In active management of third stage of labor, जो अभी थोड़े दिन पहले डॉक्टर साधना गुप्ता आई थी, तो उन्होंने IM इंजेक्शन बताया था ना सिंटो का कि 2 इंजेक्शन IM.
नहीं, प्रगति intramuscular 10 unit intramuscular injection immediately after delivery जो हम लोग recommend कर रहे हैं by Foxy. This is ये last 4-5 years से हम लोग कर रहे हैं. This Foxy focus में आया था. That was the aim. उस बार हम लोगों का एम था टू प्रिवेंट पीपीएच. उसी समय में ये था कि इन ऑल पेशेंट्स इमीडिएटली आफ्टर डिलीवरी 10 यूनिट इंट्रामस्कुलर आप लगा दीजिए इमीडिएटली. ठीक है, डोंट वेट.
फॉलो कर रहे हैं.
हाँ, नहीं कर रहे हैं, हम लोग भी कर रहे हैं, इमीडिएटली देते हैं. बट अगर हम लोग अगर कार्बिसिन देना चाह रहे हैं तो उन केसेस में फिर हमें आईएम इंजेक्शन की जरूरत नहीं है. ओनली 1 ml ऑफ carbacetin in dilution with the 5 or 10 ml of saline we can give in 1 minute. Okay, immediately after delivery. Same, but अगर हम carbacetin देंगे तो we don't require giving intramuscular 10 unit oxytocin as we are giving.
लेकिन अगर हम लोग हाइपरटेंशन को एक्सक्लूड कर दें तो मुझे लगता है एक सिंपल मेथर्जिन ये भी दिया जा सकता है कि क्योंकि आईएम ना पेशेंट को बहुत दिक्कत करता है. हम अभी तक यूज तो आईएम ही कर रहे हैं ना. पेशेंट इस समय तो काफी गंदा सा भी होता है और थोड़ा उसको क्लीन करो, जगह को लगाओ थोड़ा.
नहीं, देखो ये ऐसा नहीं है. अगर पेशेंट लेबर में है तो पेशेंट लेबर में तो वैसे ही इतना पेन बियर कर रही है. अगर जहां हम लोग 10 यूनिट मतलब आईएम देते हैं, वी ओनली गिव ऑन द थाई और बटक्स में लगाते हैं. थाई पे यू कैन गिव. ठीक है, ऐसा नहीं है, क्लीन करके दे सकते हो. दैट इज ओनली रिकमेंडेड बाय फॉक्सी बिकॉज 10 यूनिट इमीडिएटली आफ्टर डिलीवरी जस्ट टू प्रिवेंट द पीपीएच. तो इट इज रिकमेंडेड और हम लोग दे रहे हैं. कोई साइड इफेक्ट नहीं है अभी तक हम लोगों ने देखा.
साइड इफेक्ट तो नहीं है इसका.
हाँ, कोई साइड इफेक्ट नहीं है, हम लोग दे रहे हैं. बट इफ यू वांट टू अवॉइड गिविंग ऑक्सीटोसिन तो आप स्विच ऑन करोगे कार्बेसिन पे. बट यू हैव टू गिव कार्बेसिन ओनली आईवी होलासिन 1 minute. ठीक है, बाय डाइल्यूशन वी कैन गिव. तो एक आईएम का आपका वो बच जाएगा, मत दो. लेकिन
मैम आपको कितनी बार कार्बेसिन के बाद मेथर्जिन देना पड़ा?
नहीं, मैंने नहीं दिया अभी. आई हैव यूज्ड इन few patients only, but only 1 injection carbacetin was enough. I didn't give anything. जबकि प्रोस्टाग्लैंडिन्स कई बार यूज करना पड़ जाता है. अगर आप सिंटोसिनॉन देते हो, ऑक्सीटोसिन देते हो, उसके बाद भी पीपीएच अभी कंटिन्यू रहता है, देन यू हैव टू गिव इंट्रामस्कुलर प्रोस्टाग्लैंडिन्स.
कोई इसका स्पेसिफिक एक्शन लोअर सेगमेंट पे?
नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है. इट एक्ट्स ऑन द नेचुरली. अभी दैट स्लाइड वाज शोइंग इट एक्शन ऑन द स्मूथ मसल, क्रिस क्रॉस फाइबर्स पे जो स्मूथ मसल पे कॉन्ट्रैक्शन हो गई होगा. इट्स नॉट ऑन दैट कि लोअर सेगमेंट पे हो, अपर सेगमेंट पे हो. बट इन केसेस ऑफ प्रीवियस सिजेरियन, व्हाट हैपेंड, previous cesarean already there is a scar. ठीक है, uterine contractility, tonicity is delayed. तो उस cases में if we give carbacetin तो it's more helpful. Okay. But I have only used in cases of previous seizure, in cases of twin gestation जिसमें अभी सीजर किया, और एक मैंने नॉर्मल विजाइनल डिलीवरी में दिया. और यूजुअली आई हैव यूज्ड इन केसेस ऑफ सिजेरियन सेक्शन.
Carbapenem act on the same receptor, same oxytocin
Same,
receptor.
जैसे
where,
oxytocin है,
हाँ, same
और
receptor.
same है, वही receptor same.
Act on the same receptor. Only
Same
the
receptor.
half-life is more, so duration of action is more.
Sustain. Yes, that action is sustained for
that.
long.
Only that is the difference.
Yes.
The receptors are same.
Receptors are same. Problem is this, अगर patient already induced है, होता नहीं है कि प्रोलॉन्ग लेबर में यूट्राइन इनर्शिया हो जाता है. फॉर एग्जांपल इन अभी से कि भाई प्रोलॉन्ग लेबर में पेशेंट है, 10-12 घंटे हो गए उसको लेबर पेन्स है. यस, दैट इज ए कॉज ऑफ पीपीएच. जहां हमको ये सस्पिशन है कि पेशेंट को 12 घंटे हो गए लेबर में एंड पेशेंट इज नॉट डिलीवर्ड, लेटर ऑन इफ शी एग्जॉस्टेड, उसके बाद डिलीवरी हो रही है. वंस वी नो दैट शी इज ए केस ऑफ प्रोलॉन्ग लेबर, वी कैन सस्पेक्ट दैट शी मे have PPH. So in such cases, if we give carbicin, that may prevent PPH. बस यही है, because everything we are giving just for the sake to prevent it.
Yes.
We cannot एक
Not
बार हो
managing
गया,
it. हाँ, फिर तो मैनेजमेंट हो जाएगा.
और एक्टिव
तो-
मैनेजमेंट ऑफ
यो तो एक्टिव मैनेजमेंट हुआ ना. फॉर द प्रिवेंशन अगर हम लोग दे रहे हैं इन सच केसेस कि जिसमें वी आर सस्पेक्टिंग ओनली कि हाँ इसमें हो सकता है, तो दैट ओनली मैटर्स.
Thank you, Meera ma'am.
चलो.
You have given
Yes, ma'am.
wonderful
Thank you, ma'am, for such a nice and excellent.
and thanks to Meera ma'am. You have given
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
to
Neera
Dr.
ma'am.
Neera
Very
ma'am, Dr.
knowledgeable talk.
Shetty, to the
Okay.
President, Dr.
Bye.
Shetty ma'am. And thank you to Bharti ma'am for this opportunity. Thanks to all the audience from Bareilly.
and
Thank you,
special thanks to Bliss on Flipping.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.